day they told us, it was on a Sunday, and I was home, and my daughter was home. My husband was out playing golf.
When I went to work that Monday morning, everything seemed to be fine.
We were outside. My daughter said, there's two men in uniform here at the front door. It wasn't a knock on the door. It's like they grabbed a hold of the screen door and they just banged it. And I thought, I've never heard that kind of knock before.
And my first reaction was to be, friends of Jeremy's. And then it hit me.
I remember 2 months before Alex died, he emailed me. He goes, Mom, don't ever panic unless you see two guys in dress uniform in our front door. And I saw the shape and I just died.
I couldn't believe it.
I just stood there and looked at them.
And I opened the door and I said, go away. I don't want to hear.
I said, no, you can't come in the house.
I just thought if I didn't let him in, that the news, I wouldn't hear it, maybe, and then it wouldn't be true.
I remember my husband met me in the garage.
And the look on his face I'll never forget.
When you've been married for 30 years, you can tell instantly.
And he just looked at me and he said, we lost him.
I remember just this scream.
Started screaming and yelling and banging my fist on the marble.
And then they got me up and I went and I was screaming the whole time.
Saying, I knew he would never come back. I begged him not to join the Army. Isn't it a mistake? Can't you be wrong?
Of course your world totally falls apart. And that was the worst day of my whole life.
It was just horrible. And it's been pretty horrible now for 8.5 months.
But anyway, it's been a year and a half, and it's been rough. It's been real rough.
How do you put your life back together when your child dies? Your heart is shattered, your mind a blur. Your entire being longs for your child to come back. You just keep looking for him, going places you shared, where the memories are the strongest, hoping you will find him and he will call out to you. And then it is time to go, and the reality that he is not coming home sinks in a little deeper, and your heart tears apart even more. My name is Sue Turley. On October 14th, 2006, my only child, Private First Class Keith Jesse Moore, died while serving in Iraq. Keith's death has been the most devastating loss of my life. As part of my healing journey, I needed something positive to emerge from this terrible tragedy. I wanted to support other mothers of the fallen by sharing our stories about our beloved children and our faith journeys, while teaching others how to help in times of great sorrow and loss. This film is made in honor of Keith and all the men and women who have died while serving in the armed forces. It is a testimony that where there are broken hearts, there will also be lifted spirits.
My name is Karen Funchen. My son, Sergeant Alex Funchen, was killed April 29th, 2007. He was our firstborn child. We named him Alex because that means helper of mankind. Our son was ornery child. He was talking at 9 months, so he was talking before he was walking. And they said, watch out when you have a child that way. And yeah, we had to watch out. When he got into high school, he started experimenting with drugs. Just broke our heart and just got in all kinds of trouble. And then he decided he didn't need school anymore, and so he dropped out of high school. And that really broke my heart. He had 1 semester to go. All along we had been encouraging him for several years, you know, if you don't know what you want to be when you get out of high school, why don't you join the Army or the Air Force or the Navy? When he got to the point where everything was gone, we encouraged him. So he said, okay. Since he only had a GED, the Army thought he was stupid. So his choices were gunner and cook. So he chose the gunner. He said, Mom, I'm not going to be a cook. I said, okay. Before the year was over, he said that he was going to be going to Iraq. He was in Baghdad, and he was on one side of this river. We don't know which river it was, but he saw some commotion off of this, in the bushes on the other side of the river, so he called it in. And Alex found out later that he saved a person's life. And he was the most happiest. He was the happiest about that, saving a person's life. I don't know if he shot and killed anybody, but that's what he was so excited about, was being able to save someone's life. You really find out that he touched a lot of lives, and I guess, you know, he has lived up to his name, helper of mankind, because we're finding out all the lives he's touched since he's died.
My name is Sheila Marshall, and Evan was born when I was 35, sort of late in life. I find that a blessing because my pain is not even 9 months old, and there are days that I don't know if I can survive this. Evan was my second child and my baby. At the age of 17, before Christmas, he told us he wanted to join the Army. I begged him to please wait until he was 18, which was only 8 months away, and make the decision then. That 17 was awfully young for such a major decision. And I wouldn't sign the papers, but he persuaded his dad because he was relentless, and his dad signed the papers. He was sent to Fort Carson, and he was there for about a year before they were sent to Iraq. And while they were there, another soldier from Athens was killed right in front of him by an IED. My son, at the age of 19, sees 2 of his friends blown up. I never asked him what it was like because I couldn't bear to hear the answer. He came home after the first deployment. They went skiing, and I thought, oh, this is wonderful. So they were redeployed. And I relaxed a little bit because I thought, all right, he made it the first time. He can make it the second time. He was killed within 6 weeks. He was driving the lead Humvee. There were 5 in the lead Humvee who died instantly. This was a 100-pound IED. The other 20 soldiers out on the mission, they